Okay, so let's take it for a test drive. It's the 2018 Subaru STI 50th Anniversary Edition. So Nathan from the dealership, he's gonna take a ride with me, and hopefully, he's pretty brave, but hopefully we'll get back in one piece. We did go out on the beach with, what was it?
The Crosstreks and the Outbacks.
Yeah, that was fun. So, okay, so we got this just in automatic mode as far as the differential, and we got that in normal mode, the SI drive.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try to take it easy. Now, I didn't notice, does this have a hydraulic clutch or a cable? Do you know?
I don't know specifically. I'll look it up.
I didn't even think to look when I had the hood up. Kind of feels like a cable.
I think that's what it is. I don't remember.
The travel and that quick release. And go to the light. In my test drives, I don't edit anything, so it's like a full thing. So it's the test drive experience.
There you go, the full experience.
The full experience. I like those Volvos.
Man, yeah, those are clean. I love that B90.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
If it was not only, if it wasn't $70,000, I might look into it. Yeah,
they were kind of steep. I try not to look at prices when I'm looking at cars. I just like enjoy them, you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it ruins the experience. Yeah, the first time I saw one of those, it was at the car show in Greensboro, and they had that brown color.
Yeah.
And the way the lighting in the car show, it just made it look, it just stood out. I mean, I was like, wow, this is the nicest color I've ever seen. But then when I saw it here at the dealership, it didn't look quite as nice. But
yeah, keep it clean and it stays looking fresh.
Yeah. Now, if I was gonna get one of those, I would probably get it ceramic coated.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. That resist all stuff.
Yeah, a friend of mine has the SRT Charger, and he ceramic coated. It was they color corrected it first.
Okay.
And then they did the ceramic coating, and ever since then it always looks clean, and it's a black car.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I was like, that's the best thing you ever did. It was expensive. It was
and don't they offer like protection, like if something happens to it later on for dents or scratches or something? I know, like Resist All, they have that 7-year guarantee.
I know it's expensive. Very expensive some places. The first time I saw that was on a Tesla. Get used to that clutch. When you got a Prius in front of you. Wow. That is nice.
305 horsepower, all-wheel drive.
Yeah, that paper you gave me that has the specs on it, that was for the RA.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and it had a 310 horsepower. I'm like, wait a minute. So I looked at the top, and it said this is the RA, and then it said features in addition to the.
Oh.
So yeah.
Maybe I printed off the wrong one.
Well, I looked it up too online, and for some reason Subaru has the RA specs in the anniversary edition. So
maybe there is an RA 50th anniversary. Well, they're doing limited production of the RAs anyways.
Yes, I don't know. I'll in the video I said 305 horsepower.
Okay,
so
good.
If it's different from that, then I'll just add a correction or whatever. Kind of got some high RPMs, but it's like it has a high RPMs, but it's like it's made for that, you know?
Yeah, well, that's the peak torque is at, or the peak horsepower is at 5,000. Let me get it right. 5,000 RPM, and the peak torque is at 4,000.
Yeah, notice that red line's almost 7,000 before it red lines.
And so that's one thing people don't like as much. But you look at the WRX and you get the peak torque at like 2,500 as opposed to the 4,000 on the STI. But overall, the STI is much quicker with a 2.5 liter versus 2 liter engine.
Yeah, I get used to that.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I'm just blind spot monitor. It's flashing. I mean, it flashes over here. My car doesn't have it, so I'm just kind of checking it out.
Used to it.
Yeah, a little light.
Well, if you have your blinker on, so you're going to the left, and there's a car on your blind spot, it flashes at you.
Okay.
It'll be solid if you're just driving straight and a car goes by, but it flashes if your blinker's on.
Will it beep or make any audio?
No. The rear cross traffic alert, but not the blind spot detection.
Okay. Yeah, it's a short throw shifter, so it feels like.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I wish little GoPros could do the audio justice. It's not even worth testing.
Yeah. Also, we'd have to have copyright-free music anyway.
Oh yeah.
It has a really good system?
Yeah, the Harman Kardon's really, really good.
Well, maybe I'll do a video on that separate, and I'll plug in something or pair my phone.
Well, I hate it, like, because I know a little bit about audio from doing some sound engineering stuff. The difference between FM and Sirius compared to Bluetooth is night and day. Like, so you put on FM radio here and it's like crap compared to getting your like Bluetooth from your phone or a USB connection.
Right.
Just the audio quality is night and day.
Okay.
And so people are like trying to test it out on test drives with the radio. I'm like, oh no, you're not doing it justice. Yeah. You're not getting the full experience. But then again, I'm like, other people won't notice as much as I do.
Probably be a good idea to carry a USB stick with you and just plug it in there, and
so you can
have like a variety of stuff on there just in case. Depends on who you're with, you know.
Yep.
Give him too much gas. Kind of reminds me when I was test driving the SI, where it has more power than I'm accustomed to, because I have an Acura RSX and it's like, you know, 180 horsepower. You know? And this one, you don't need to give it much gas
for it to get going.
Yeah, but it really wants to have. It's kind of the one thing that's similar to my car is that it kind of like feels natural to have the high RPMs, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and this car's been built and revised so many times. It's pride themselves on the heritage. With it being 50 years, they've been developing some version of the WRX, the Preza WRX and Preza STI for so many years. So they've gotten it fine-tuned pretty well.
So here I am. I have it in 5th gear. It's about 50 miles an hour. Yeah, 50 right now, and it's 2,500 RPM, slightly over. So that's but it doesn't feel like the engine's like over revving or anything. It just really feels natural. Like my RSX, it's kind of like, it feels like it needs those RPMs to go, but it feels like it's still a little bit over revving. This car just no problem. Should I take it right here and then go down a little ways, turn around?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Does not feel like a 4-cylinder.
No.
It was like more like a V8 or something, you know, but quieter.
One's got a nice sound. It's not gonna with this STI exhaust. sounds nice, but that can blow anyone out of water. A lot of people will. It's one of the first things they change. If they're modifying their WRX or STI's exhaust to get it louder,
Yeah.
they can rumble if it's
Yeah.
to it.
I heard an STI that was sounded really good, so it must have had the aftermarket.
Yeah.
What's that down there? Is that a park?
It's the airport.
Oh, airport. Okay.
You can loop around it. I think there's a one here. You just need to go out into the field and show them what you can do off the road.
yeah. Racing airplanes or something.
Yeah.
That would have been a good spot to turn around. I can test the brakes.
There you go.
Like, hey, there's a spot. Which of these should do pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going a little bit too fast here. I like the way it shows you what gear you're in.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's a manual transmission, that's pretty neat. Especially if you're not familiar with the vehicle like I am. The speed limit's going up a little bit. Yeah, I went down to 4. Do you know where this ends up at?
I don't know, where are we on? North Kerr. Services to save battery, so now I can't find myself.
No, that's fine. I'll turn around and just go back the same way I came. That way we don't get mixed up. When I
take this up to like 117 kind of near like close to Laney.
Okay.
So we can keep going straight.
Okay.
Right here, you go.
Just turn right?
Yeah, turn right here and then we'll right again.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, we got green light. I hear the turbo, winding down as you let go of the accelerator. That's pretty neat.
Well, I know I've seen previously that people were criticizing. I've seen people criticize people driving new Subarus for riding it too hard and going above 4,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
Well, I've spoken. We go right here.
Okay.
Spoken with a technician at our dealership that's been here over 20 years, confirming that there is no break-in period on Subarus. I mean, he said the reason they previously had a break-in period is because the portions of the pistons weren't machined as finely and as precisely as they are now.
Right.
So they almost had to wear a little bit before they were like perfectly smooth and worn in.
Mm-hmm.
But with the technology these days, he says that is a myth of the break-in period.
Yeah, yeah. Especially 4-cylinders. I mean, big V8, like the big, huge V8 engines, like a 6.4 liter or whatever.
Yeah.
There's obviously a big break-in period because they smoke. If they're for the first couple hundred miles.
Yeah.
And then the piston rings seal up.
Mm-hmm.
Which if you have any experience rebuilding engines and stuff, that's kind of a common thing after a rebuild. So this is gonna take us back to the road.
So this
at
will
the
be
dealership.
College, and then we'll take a left on the Martin Luther King, and then a left on the Market.
okay. So it just basically did a big big.
Yeah, big loop.
Okay. Yeah, first time I came to Wilmington, I got lost. Or the first 10 times I came to Wilmington, I got lost because the one-way streets, you don't go out the same way you come in, and of course I never, never asked for directions, never look at a map, and this is before navigation. So I was like too stubborn,
Yeah.
So I would need to get in the left lane, I suppose.
Yeah,
right?
it's about a mile up there.
Okay.
3/4 of a mile. Just look in that blind spot. You gotta learn to trust it.
Nah, I hadn't learned that fast. Next one up.
Next one up, yeah.
Okay, there's some small spot here. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, the Type R I wasn't able to do like a test drive, but I did drive it in the parking lot. And I included that part in the video. And they're like, why didn't you go out and take it out on the road and race Corvettes and all that stuff? I was like, well, the Stinger, I was test driving the Stinger, and I'm driving it just like this, new car. It's going to be somebody else's car real soon, So I'm trying to go somewhat easy on it. And I'm driving on 31 at Myrtle Beach, and this Corvette comes flying. I'm going 70, right?
Yeah.
Corvette's going 140, 150, just flying past me like I was staying still. And everybody in the comment, a lot of people were like, you should have raced that Corvette and all this stuff. I'm like, no, I don't think so. It didn't matter if I floored it as hard as that car could go. You're not gonna. If you had a,
you can't even get at that.
You'd have to have a Lamborghini to even, he already has like double the speed already.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up with him is not gonna work out with that Stinger.
What kind of engine do those have?
They have a 4-cylinder twin turbo, similar deal as this.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. It has a launch mode.
Oh, cool.
Does it? So I don't know. I tried it out.
You can technically launch. It's not good for the clutch transmission. If you rev it a decent amount and then drop the clutch quick enough, and you can do it if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. This one feels stronger. This vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a manual transmission, and also it's the all-wheel drive system and all that stuff. This is a rear-wheel drive, and when I did the launch, it was like there was a little bit of gravel on the road, and I basically broke traction, so I had to let off of it.
Yeah.
But this one is just like, you feel like it hugs the road and it's solid.
Yeah. Something I've had a lot of people ask about, I think it'd be neat to do, is get a decibel meter to test the actual road noise, whether it be sitting still or going like 7 miles an hour. Yeah. Well, just to test it, to have a numerical value, because everyone's like, well, how does it compare? How does the Forester compare to the RAV4 and the CRV? Or the Outback, and it'd be neat to have actual numbers. I need to just do it myself. They're not expensive.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap. I mean, I have one. I've done some, some tests, but you have to have.
You even use your phone.
Maybe, but yeah, you probably could. But you have to. Just the numbers themselves, you have to have a comparison, and you basically do several vehicles, and then you. Yeah. And then you have like I guess you would average it because it varies wildly as you're driving.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to find like consistent conditions. Like I imagine if you're going 70 miles an hour on a highway and there's not a lot of traffic around you, that's pretty easy to find those conditions in it to be.
You have to be on the same road with every vehicle, that's doing the same speed with every vehicle.
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of controls, but yeah, it'll give you a objective number for people to actually see, and I think Subaru buyers would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because there's the thing about test drives. I mean, this is why I just do a normal test drive and don't edit it, because it's subjective, I mean, me driving this car, I mean, this is like, feels like driving a GTR or something.
Yeah.
But the other people that are accustomed to faster, fast cars all the time, they're just like, they might not be as impressed. So there's a lot of subjectivity in the whole test drive experience. So I try to not put too much of my weight behind my opinions. I just kind of drive it, then kind of hear what it sounds like and all that stuff, and
visibility.
Just give them something to look at, because people insist on some kind of test drive, but see what it is, they get accustomed to other videos in which people put all this, they drive it, but they tell you their opinion the whole time. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to be objective, and that's not what that's not their focus. Their focus is doing like a movie review, like, hey, I hated it, or I liked it, or whatever.
Well, and then there's the whole other world. Like when I'm looking at that kind of information, I'm looking at things like Motor Trend's videos. They do all those head-to-heads and all those high-performance vehicles that are really interesting to watch. And
it does.
They know, those are people with like recognized names that you really, really know, and they go on a track and they go off-road and they do that. But when you're just looking at objective numbers, and features, it's like that's where you kill it.
Well, another thing is just sort of like this car and other cars, similar to this, in which you see a lot of videos of them driven on the track or driven really hard, or 0 to 60s and all that stuff. You get all that. There's lots of that online, but there's you rarely see actual real kind of test drive like this. And what's it like driving it in traffic,
behind a dump truck.
And I noticed the Recaro seats, they have the little hug on the back, but it's not like some of the other ones. It's ridiculous, where it feels like it's like it's pinching you.
That's what a lot of people don't like. The Focus RS is apparently a much faster and like more performance, but apparently, well, one, it's not going to be as reliable. It's a newer car, but it's just not a comfortable car to drive. Apparently, a lot of people say that, like, even though it's faster, if all you care about is performance, maybe but if it's your daily driver, it's like you're not going to only look at the speed.
Just now getting used to the clutch. We're getting ready to end it, but yeah, the speed is like, what I don't, it just drives me nuts, is people that are like razor focused on speed and the transmissions, gears, or whatever. But then they want to talk about self-driving cars. I'm like, well, if it's a self-driving car, what do you care about the horsepower? And it's not going to accommodate you. It's just going to get you from point A to point B. Where do you want me to put it?
We're going to end up putting it right there, but you can just pull in and turn around, or whatever you want to do.
Just pull it right here for now. All right, well, we'll just end it right there. And thank you, Nathan, for Nathan. Check out his channel.
Me.
What's your channel?
It's me, you, and Subaru, and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the whole works.
All right, link will be in the description.
Thanks, guys.